You hit delete and breathe, but online, delete usually means harder to find, not gone forever. We all believe the delete button is an eraser. It feels tidy and final. But the web is a copying machine, not a shredder. Companies make backups, caches hold snapshots, and other people mirror what you post. In practice, delete often means one copy disappears while many others stay. That difference matters when sensitive photos or posts resurface years later, and it explains why deletion feels unreliable. Next, let's define what delete actually means online. When platforms say delete, they usually mean one of three things. First, a soft delete hides content but keeps it in the system. Second, an item gets flagged for deletion and waits in limbo. Third, something is purged from the live database but still lingers in backups, caches, or offsite copies. Each state looks like deletion from the user view, but behaves very differently under the hood. Let's walk through each case, starting with soft deletes. A soft delete is the most common trick. Platforms move your post to trash or mark it invisible. The interface removes it from timelines and feeds, but engineers keep the record for recovery. That helps when people accidentally delete things, or platforms need to restore service after bugs. The content still exists in the database, and often in version history, so that gone feeling is temporary, and that temporary window can be longer than you think. Next is the flagged for deletion state. Companies mark items for removal, but retain them for days, weeks, or months. They do this for legal holds, user recovery, and security investigations. That flagged copy may be visible to admins, auditors, or law enforcement. It sits in a queue until retention rules expire. So even after you click delete, that flagged record can be resurrected if someone needs it. And sometimes they do. Backups and snapshots are the backbone of reliability. Companies copy databases on schedules and create pre-update snapshots. Those images can include your deleted content and sit for months or longer. Restoring a backup can bring data back exactly as it was on that date. Engineers design this for resilience, not malice. So when platforms say data will be deleted after backup cycle, the clock can be weeks or months. That delay creates an obvious problem. Caches and CDNs accelerate the web by storing copies near users. A cached image or page can live on an edge server halfway across the world. Search engines also keep cache snapshots that show your page as it looked. Browser caches store copies on people's devices. Those caches often outlive the original. So, content removed from the source can still be served from many places, and search caches can make old versions easy to find. Public archival projects intentionally capture the web. The Wayback Machine takes snapshots and preserves pages at scale. Their mission is preservation, not deletion, so removed pages often survive in archives. You can request removal in some cases, but archives generally prioritize historical record over privacy. This means content you thought vanished may live in institutional memory long after the platform removes it from view. Then there are the human copies. Screenshots, downloads, forwards, and mirrors. People save screenshots to their phones, forward emails, and re-upload videos. Disappearing message apps cannot stop a camera. Once someone takes a screenshot, that copy is outside your control. This human layer is often the hardest to erase because copies scatter to private drives and other platforms that never get your deletion request. Data brokers scrape and compile your traces into dossiers. They stitch together public records, social profiles, purchases, and app data to build shadow profiles. People search sites republish those profiles. Even if you delete original accounts, brokers may still hold inferred data. Opting out helps, but it is time-consuming. These shadow records turn ordinary traces into searchable dossiers that can persist despite your deletion efforts. Why do companies keep copies? Mostly practical reasons. Platforms retain data to run and improve services, debug problems, and detect fraud. Backups protect against outages. Compliance and audits require records. Understanding these motives helps you predict where your data may persist. Companies publish retention policies, but they are complex. So to manage your footprint, you need to read policies and act, not assume deletion is instantaneous. ISPs and network providers also hold metadata like IP addresses, DNS lookups, and connection times. Metadata can reveal patterns. who you contact, and when, even when content is encrypted. Retention rules vary by country and provider. Sometimes law or business needs require logs to be kept. That means the internet leaves trails at the network level that deletion on a platform won't touch. Governments and law enforcement can request or compel data from companies. Platforms publish transparency reports showing the volume of legal requests. Laws differ by jurisdiction. Some require long retention windows. That means even deleted items may be extracted through legal process. Deletion policies don't negate lawful access, which is why legal context matters when you try to remove content from the public record. Deleted tweets often survive via screenshots or reposting. Watchdog sites archive officials' posts for accountability, capturing what was removed. That means a hasty tweet can be preserved by third parties within minutes. Social media is fast and reflexive, and once a post attracts attention, copies propagate quickly. Deleting later rarely removes those propagated copies. The lesson is simple: think before you post, because others will do the archiving for you. The Ashley Madison breach shows what happens when private data leaks. Supposedly ephemeral or private information escaped and spread worldwide. Once a dataset leaks, deletion requests become irrelevant. Backups, mirrors, and downloaders ensured multiple copies existed. That breach taught a hard truth: you cannot fully control other people's storage or the internet's appetite for copying sensitive material. Fitness app heat maps and archival losses show other failure modes. Aggregated activity once revealed sensitive locations, and archived snapshots preserved vanished pages. Even when a platform loses data, copies may linger elsewhere. MySpace famously lost tracks, yet mirrors kept them alive. These stories reveal the many hands that touch data once it leaves your device, which raises the big question: can you ever truly erase something online? Short answer: sometimes, but rarely guaranteed once shared. On systems you control, you can sanitize storage or crypto-erase devices per industry standards. Online, deletion depends on backup cycles, third-party copies, and archives. You can request removals and legal remedies help, but absolute erasure is elusive. The realistic goal is to reduce exposure and shorten retention windows, not to expect total vanishing. Now, let's look at the legal tools that can help. Privacy laws give you leverage, not magic. GDPR provides a right to erasure with exceptions for legal and public interest reasons. CCPA lets Californians access and delete personal data and opt out of sales. These laws can force companies to remove data from their systems, but they don't erase copies outside that company or archives held for legal reasons. Use these rights strategically, but expect friction and limitations when you do. You don't need to vanish. You need a system. A practical playbook helps you reduce risk without living offline. Think of privacy as layers: what you post, who sees it, how long it lasts, and who stores copies. Small daily habits compound. In the next few sections, I'll give clear, actionable steps you can use starting today to cut your digital half-life and regain more control. First, pause before you post. Ask yourself 3 quick questions. Would I be okay if this showed up publicly? Does it reveal personal details like addresses or children? Would a future employer misread this? These 5 seconds reduce future cleanup massively. Treat every post like it's permanent until proven otherwise. The pause is simple, but it prevents most of the costly mistakes that create lingering digital copies. Second, default to data minimization and tighten privacy settings. Give apps the least data they need. Use alias emails for newsletters. Avoid social logins when possible, and limit post visibility to friends. Turn off location tagging on photos and disable auto-tagging. Small settings changes dramatically reduce copies and accidental exposure. These habits make your digital life quieter and harder to scrape. If sensitive content already escaped, move calmly and quickly. First, remove or lock the original source. Second, ask platforms and hosts for takedowns and contact people who reshared the item. Third, request search engine de-indexing where applicable, and avoid public emotional posts that amplify attention. Preserve evidence with screenshots and timestamps in case you need legal help. Acting methodically reduces spread and improves your chances of containment. Myths versus reality matters. Deleting one copy rarely deletes all copies. Disappearing messages can still be saved. Right to be forgotten has limits. Logins don't guarantee safety, and the nothing to hide claim misses the point. Privacy is about control and context. Even harmless data can be misinterpreted or weaponized. Understanding these realities helps you make better trade-offs about what to share and how to protect what matters. The future will be mixed. Regulations and better privacy tools will give people more control. At the same time, cheaper data collection and AI scraping will increase persistence. That means you must stay proactive, control what you publish, shorten retention windows where possible, and audit your accounts regularly. You can't guarantee total erasure, but you can make the internet forget faster and make your traces less useful to others. Quick recap. Delete usually means removed from one place, not all places. Backups, caches, archives, brokers, and screenshots create persistence. Laws help, but have limits. Your best defense is preventive habits. Pause, minimize, tighten settings, use auto-delete and encryption, clean dormant accounts, opt out of brokers, and secure backups. When exposure happens, act fast. Remove the source, limit distribution, preserve evidence, and get help. Ready to put this into practice? If this helped, like and subscribe for more privacy shortcuts. Share a comment with one account you plan to delete, and I'll suggest the fastest next step.